Bostwick, North High Shoals. This is a new tornado warning. So let me come back over to our Storm Tracker 2 in HD. I'm going to take some of this off and zoom out slightly to give you a little more perspective. And we'll take a look at this together as I go through the new tornado warning in effect for northeastern Greene County, north central Morgan County, east central Walton County, also extreme southeastern Clark County, Oconee County, and southwestern Oglethorpe County. Again, let me go through this real quick. Greene, Morgan, Walton, Clark, Oconee, and Oglethorpe counties until 7:15 as Doppler radar continues to indicate this tornado near and just to the north or northwest of Monroe. That thunderstorm has the potential to produce tornado touchdowns, and that's about 14 miles west of Good Hope, but moving east at 50 miles an hour. I'll put the storm in towards Bostwick, North High Shoals, Bishop, Watkinsville, Maxey's, Crawford, Lexington, and Woodville as Doppler radar continues to indicate very strong rotation, damaging winds, and tornado touchdowns likely in those locations that I just mentioned in the tornado warning until 7:15. In addition to that, we have a severe thunderstorm warning for Carroll and Haralson County as that storm back towards the west coming out of Alabama still has the potential to produce some damaging straight-line winds. The tornado threat there has lessened some, so the two storms that we're most concerned about for tornado touchdowns is the one just north of Monroe in Walton County and the one near Jonesboro and McDonough, and both of those racing to the east southeast at about 60 miles an hour. Glenn?
Brad, this one keeps continuing to look more and more impressive now as it just to the east of the Fayetteville area. It is approaching McDonough, now departing the Jonesboro area. And if you can look over here, the size of the hail is 2 inches in that, and it's moving toward Flippin at 5:29, Blacksville at 6:32 tonight, and 6:51 toward Stewart. So what we can expect here, locally heavy rainfall, some strong gusty straight line winds in advance of the storm, but the possibility that we may have tornado developing right back here. It'll be just in the east of Fayetteville and maybe just west of McDonough. Brad, if we can zoom down a little bit between McDonough and Fayetteville, take a closer look at that. BTI index is still at 4.7. There it is right there. You can certainly see the hook that's developed on the tail end of that supercell thunderstorm with the large hail that's associated with it. Hampton, McDonough, you're probably getting the hail right now. It's moving right at you at about 45 miles per hour. The hail size is 2 inches in that storm. Again, we'll continue to move toward Flippin, Ola, and Stewart between now and 6:53 tonight. Do we have this on our Storm Tracker 2 in 3D? We can take a look at some of the hail. We got some incredible pictures, which I'll share with you when I have a little time later, of the large hail that just battered Carroll County. Very impressive. It was like this big around falling in some spots out there. And you can see the hail that's embedded in this thunderstorm here, which is now just to the southeast of Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. Tremendous hail with our Storm Tracker 2 in 3D. This is like an MRI in a thunderstorm where we peel away the layers and we can actually peek inside in 3 dimensions to see the hail embedded in that. And it's also good for finding the tornado vortex funnels that are coming out of the thunderstorm. We're not seeing much there, but it's certainly indicated by our reflectivity on the radar as we look for that as it approaches McDonough. Tom Jones, as a matter of fact, is right now in Henry County. And Tom, are you seeing the storm moving toward you right now?
Oh, Glenn, I think it's right over us. At least it was just a second ago. We just saw hail come through and just hit us. Penny-sized hail came through. We started to see lightning about every 5 seconds. We're seeing these lightning blasts, and then the rains came through, and then all of a sudden it just went away. We still have the ominous clouds right now, and we can still hear the roar of the thunder, but right now it's starting to clear up just a little bit. Well, that's about to change. The rain is starting to come back down pretty heavy now. We're still starting to see some lightning, but the hail just came through and went away. About 5 minutes ago, we heard the sirens go off, alerting folks that the tornado was on the way. Some weather system came through real quick and then moved through. So right now we're just seeing lots of rain and the ominous clouds. Yeah, and the winds picked up and now they've died back down.
Where in Henry County exactly are you?
We're in downtown McDonough, right by the courthouse.
All right.
It's fairly dark here right now. It's just amazing because earlier today I was commenting on how beautiful it was. Nice, flush blue skies. The sun was out. And just seconds ago, all of that changed. And it's interesting because to the south, the clouds are dark, but you can look to the north and they're somewhat blue.
Yeah, the cold front will continue to push on in. In fact, we were looking, Tom, at some dramatic pictures with our tower cam of that supercell thunderstorm there, and it was absolutely astounding to see how large that thunderstorm is. Again, these are supercell thunderstorms, the type you would find that hit us like last March, that produced the tornado outbreak in Georgia. These are rotating thunderstorms, and you can see where Tom is in the city of McDonough. We have one right on him now, and the appendage that's hanging off right here, usually indicative of where you might find a tornado. So Flippin, Lovejoy, McDonough getting really hammered now. The BTI still at 4.7 in the moderate range. Confidence moderate that we may have a tornado here. Moving toward Hampton at 6:28, over toward Locust Grove at 6:40 tonight, and Fincherville at 6:50. Expect some strong straight line winds as well. You can see where we have that gradient here just to the west, northwest of Hampton. That gradient where it goes from green to red in a very short space. Very strong straight line winds in that area, and a big arc of those in and around the city of Hampton. Get ready for some very powerful winds here, and this storm is moving toward the slightly just south of due east at about 45 to 50 miles per hour. Elsewhere up toward Monroe and the Walton County area toward Watkinsville, Bostwick, very heavy rainfall here. The BTI index remains very high, a good indication that we may have a probable tornado development in this storm. So it's been a very accurate indicator of the potential of a storm to produce a tornado. And if you're just joining us, the BTI index is a barren tornado index, which is algorithms that are built into our radar to really find the potential that a storm has to produce a tornado. It's on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being low, minimal effect, but a 10 being a given that one is occurring. Brad is peeling back the layers with our Storm Tracker 2 in 3D, looking at that storm that we just saw. A large hail, very evident here, very, very evident, and a lot of the hail that we see is large when it's up in the top of these thunderstorms. Very cold at the tops of these clouds here. But the hail, as it falls through the lower part of the atmosphere, melts quite a bit. So even though we're seeing hail on the order of penny size or perhaps quarter size, there was much larger hail reported, and we have pictures of that over toward the Carroll County area today. As I pointed out, listed on the order of almost baseball size in some instances here. So Monroe, you're seeing this signature right now over toward the Bostwick area. It's going to move maybe just to the north of you. But we are seeing the rotation here with that green and red, the vorticity here. There are just a tremendous amount of wind shear going on, with the winds going toward the radar at 58 miles per hour, away at 45, very symmetrical pattern here. This is no doubt the thunderstorm that is rotating. The base of these supercells rotate, and the wall cloud is the feature that hangs below the base, and that's where you usually find the tornadoes that are forming there. And we saw some dramatic pictures when we had a little bit more sunlight out there. So Monroe, right here is where the X is. Brad drove that, and it's moving toward New Hope. This storm, I think, is moving better than 60 miles per hour toward the New Hope area. Now, time to take cover, lowest floor, away from windows and doors. Give the kids a bicycle helmet, whatever you need to do. Put a pillow, comforter, something from the bed, bring it into the bathroom. Bathtub is a great place to be, but again, you have to be on the lowest floor possible, and you don't want to be on the west-facing walls, because that's where this storm is going to be hitting first. If you have any trees that you suspect might be dead or dying around your house, avoid those rooms where you think the tree might fall. And the winds are going to be coming in from west to east, perhaps even from the southwest to northeast, and that's what you want to be avoiding, where that strong straight-line wind will likely occur. Our new storm track is plotting it toward Mount Vernon at 6:33, Bishop at 6:44, and Rose Hill at 6:58. The severe hail, 80% likely, and the hail size is 2 inches in diameter. So you're seeing tremendous updrafts of wind in these supercells to keep hail that size suspended in the atmosphere, in the air. Unbelievable. So you have updrafts. You also have downdrafts. And over the top of us now is called a jet streak, where you have 50 to 70 knot high-altitude winds. When you have the air that's descending in a downdraft, that can sometimes bring those strong winds in the upper part of that thunderstorm down to the surface. And I think we're seeing that right now with the demarcation here of where the green and the red are very close together on the reflectivity mode, and that short a span of time, that's very strong straight-line winds being indicated toward Bostwick. High shoals, you're seeing rain, probably large hail. North of New Hope is where we're seeing the biggest concentration of hail. No doubt that is that 2-inch hail being reported by and estimated by the radar. Watkinsville, you're seeing just rain now, but very likely to see some strong gusty winds in a matter of moments. Brad, if we can go back out to check the storm where we had the tornado warning for Carroll County, we want to continue to watch that area across western Georgia. Again, this is a